So my weekday writing routine typically starts with me waking up between 5:30 and 6 in the morning. I have a day job that runs from 8 to 5 every day, and if I don't write in the morning, I feel like I haven't utilized all of my time, and I usually go to my day job with a head full of anxious ideas that can't wait to get put down on paper. So it's just much more productive for me to go ahead and wake up early in the morning, even when I'm dragging ass out of bed, to go ahead and get some words down so that I can go into my day job with a clearer mind. What I'm currently working on is the second draft of the sequel to my first book. It is a little bit backwards that I'm working on the sequel to the first book when the first book isn't completely done. But this is really something that I found works for me because then I can avoid writing myself into plot holes when it comes to the sequel. And I can really focus on making sure that I leave proper trails. And then on my lunch break, I typically will take a walk around the office park that I work in. If you've seen any of my previous vlogs, you know that this is something I always do, unless it's just too unbearably freaking Floridian out for me to do that, or it's raining or something. But I will usually take along my recorder, which is actually what I'm recording these voiceovers on, to go ahead and brainstorm out loud different things that I'm working on. If I'm stuck, particularly when I was writing the first draft of my second book, I was really stuck on a lot of plot things and a lot of dialogue interactions. And I found that just walking around and recording everything that came to mind was really helpful going back once I got home to kind of see where my brain was at when I was in a headspace with those characters, and helped me to really plot out some big chunks of that first draft. Fun story, I filmed a time lapse of me driving to put over the voiceover, and it didn't record properly. So here, watch me in the car wash. Why am I getting a car wash? Because I had to put a wet, moldy mattress on the back of my car last weekend to transport it to the dumpster because my life is put together. Also, does anyone else feel like they're gonna die when they go through the car wash, or have I seen too many Final Destination movies? And the way I tend to get ready for my afternoon writing routine is I make sure that I've already eaten dinner and that I've taken Nala for a walk. Walking Nala is always a really nice brainstorming reset time for me. She doesn't walk too long because she's an elderly young woman, but I always find that it helps me kind of reset from the workday and get me into writer mode, get me thinking about what's next for these characters. This is about the only part of the board I can show you because the rest is spoilers and all this stuff got cut. This board really needs to be updated, but essentially these yellow ones are the inciting incidents of all three books, and then the purple ones are specific plot points, with anything written in red, you can see it down there, being a thing to foreshadow or a really, really big point that we have to cover, that we have to kind of cover. And then we have this stack of nonsense that I really don't even know. I did overarching outlines for all the books, things that need foreshadowing, the sequel slump, because it took me 4 months to write the first draft of Accidental Evils. This is something that I get asked about a lot. My main antagonist in Civil Blood is the leader of a cult who uses
biblical quotes and spirituality and faith and being a good Christian to kind of control people. He is a prophet, and when you write a prophet, you gotta talk like a prophet. My plan for this is once I work out all the little kinks of the next drafts of Civil Blood, that I can use these instead of Post-its to kind of pin onto that board you saw and get a more in-depth synopsis of the chapter in front of me so that I can move things around and kind of figure out where foreshadowing needs to fall. I thought this might be a good idea to start trying to do a more detailed outline in a physical form rather than just in like a Google Doc.
And to get ready, I tend to light a couple candles. I drink LaCroix because I'm garbage and I'm not drinking alcohol right now. And I get my docs open. I usually will have a continuous doc for notes. And I will open my current draft and I'll open my old draft as well, even though I have it propped up and able to be read, just because I can copy and paste big sections if I'm not changing anything in them, because I'm trying to hit a deadline here and I'll take all the shortcuts I can get. And with this book, I'm doing something I've never really done. I am winging it, following my outline, but not really structuring the scenes, kind of letting the characters talk to me, at least from Fina's point of view, and then going back and fixing continuity errors later. I am not a pantser at all. I'm definitely a plotter. I will needle a scene to death. This has really helped me figure out who these characters are in terms. And most writers know if anybody watched you write, they would have you committed, but I really enjoy just getting to know these people a lot, even though they're going through some messed up stuff. Now, I can't say that this evening routine is a daily routine because on Wednesdays I actually usually don't write after work. I'm usually writing my blog and then I am filming. If it is a sit-down video, I film on Wednesdays because I have that entire house to myself for most of the night on Wednesdays. So I don't typically get in enough time to go ahead and write. Along that same line, I usually will go to the gym on Tuesdays and Fridays. And it is Friday right now because I'm filming this at the last minute because I am garbage. But I decided I'd go ahead and just come home, finish filming this, and get to the afternoon writing routine for you guys. So you are to blame for me missing a day of cardio, and I thank you for that.